pathology behind this isn't about rape as a tragic consequence of war. This is about erasing Tigray and the Tigrayan identity and the Tigrayan bloodline, which is one of the hallmarks of genocide.
Who's responsible for these alleged crimes?
My name is Amleset. I am 27 years old and a mother of 2 children. I am from outside of the capital Mekelle, from a small village called Qartsaber. January 9th, 2020 is a day that paralyzed me psychologically. That day, my sister and I decided to take a walk to get something to eat from the place that we were hiding from, the Eritrean, Ethiopian, and Amhara forces. Upon discovering that they were killing and raping civilians, in addition to shelling from their tanks to our villages and cities. As we were walking out of nowhere, Eritrean soldiers confronted us with a pickup truck. They cocked their AK-47, pointing them at us, saying, "Hop in the truck or you will die." My sister and I suddenly were gripped with immense fear, and we felt helpless, nowhere to escape, so we complied. Then they brought us to a small camp that had different divided rooms. As we entered the camp, I witnessed 8 other women whose faces were filled with despair and helplessness. Right away, the soldiers separated me from my sister and put me in a room by myself where there was only a mattress. The Eritrean soldiers then began to gang rape me. I tried to fight back, but I was helpless with their gun on my head. I was left with no choice but to comply. For 2 weeks, they continued to gang rape me. One day, I counted 15 soldiers taking turn and sexually assaulting me. I pleaded with them to stop. They replied, "We will not stop. This is our revenge for taking our land, Badime, from us. We will make you all Agame Tigray women whip for the rest of your lives." Then they began to taunt me, saying, "Don't worry, we will get rid of you and get other virgin Agame girls." I was sexually assaulted for 2 weeks till my spine and pelvis were fractured.
My name is Saba. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Qola Tembein. Since November 4th, 2020, the people of Tembein have been crying for help in silence. December 4th, 2020 is the day that still haunts me to this day. I was approached by 2 Eritrean soldiers with their AK-47 who said to me, "We will rape you now, Agame. Weyane is not here to save you." I was terrified at first, but then I was filled with rage. And I felt bold enough to reply to them as one of them tried to undo his pants. "No, you will not. I am not scared of you." One of them came close to me and I pushed him back. He then began to fire toward me, hoping to scare me into surrender to rape. I kept telling them I was not scared of them. He then shot my arm and leg. I began to bleed profusely. The 2 Eritrean soldiers left me there as all my clothes were soaked with blood.
My name is Hilifti. I'm 28 years old and a mother of 6-month-old baby. I'm from Woro. When Tigray forces left Woro strategically to protect civilians, it was bombarded and shelled by both the Ethiopian and Eritrean forces. Then it was under siege. Civilians were terrified as extrajudicial killing, looting, and rape became rampant in our town. On the month of December 2020, both the Eritrean and Ethiopian forces broke into my apartment as I was breastfeeding my baby. They asked me, "Where's your husband?" I said, "He's not here." They said, "Good, he's not here, otherwise he'd be dead." Then they ordered me to take off my clothes. I began to plead with them that I'm a mother and to leave me alone. They ignored my plea and gang raped me in front of my crying baby.
My name is Mulu. I am 30 years old from Adigrat. Sometime on the month of December 2020, it was afternoon, and I was making my husband coffee. And we were drinking coffee and reflecting on the current crisis in Tigray. Suddenly, a group of Eritrean soldiers barged into our house. They pointed their rifle at us and said, "You Agame, don't even try to say a word." My husband replied, "We are civilians. What is it that you want from us?" One of them replied, "Obviously not you, Agame. We want your wife." My husband stood in front of me and began to plead with them. He told them, "Leave my wife alone. Do whatever you desire with me." One of them cocked his AK-47 as if he were going to shoot my husband. I screamed and told him not to shoot my husband. He then ordered the other Eritrean soldiers to do what they want, while he kept pointing his rifle at my husband. 4 of them gang raped me in front of my husband, while they made him kneel down and watch me.
My name is Terhas. I am 25 years old. During the month of December 2020, my families and I, who were trying to escape from Hamora's bombardment, shelling, and extrajudicial killing, hid in the mountains. We were the only remaining families who were attempting to flee to Hamdayet, Sudan. When we reached the Takaza River, we were confronted by an Amhara militia who interrogated us where we were going. He said, "Where do you think you are going?" We told him we are civilians and looking for a safe haven, since our house is bombarded. We knew we were in a vulnerable situation, so all of us begged him to let us go. He looked at us and gave me a peculiar look. Then he singled me out and said to the rest of my families, "The rest of you can go, but she stays with me." My families and I pleaded with him once again to let us all go together, but he refused. He threatened us and said, "Either all of you return where you come from, or she stays with me." I cried when I was separated from the rest of my families. The Amhara militia brought me to an isolated location near the Takaza River. He took his gun out and said to me, "You have 2 options. 1, I kill you here and you become food to the wild beasts and birds. Or 2, I rape you and you live." I began to weep out of helplessness. I asked him at least if he had a condom. He replied condescendingly, "Why the hell do I need condom for?" And right there and then, he raped me.
My name is Lemlem. I am a freelance journalist based in Ethiopia. After learning the security war in Tigray and its crisis, I have tried to cover it, although it was difficult due to the ongoing telecommunication and internet blackout. On the month of February, I was working on a story in particular about a young Tigrayan mother who was gang raped by the Eritrean soldiers. I collected enough evidence of the Eritrean soldiers who committed the atrocities and getting ready to publish it in the international media. Then, on February 8th, 3 men wearing civilian clothes but armed heavily barged into my home and beat me up. They ransacked my apartment and took all my work materials, such as a laptop, flash drive, and journals. They threatened to kill me if I ever do any story on rape or the presence of the Eritrean soldiers in Tigray.
I escaped the tormenting place, crawling half-conscious, when I heard there were no Eritrean soldiers around. I passed out on the road, trying to escape, and a motorcyclist, may God bless him, brought me to Mekelle Hospital. The Eritrean soldiers have abused me psychologically and sexually. On top of that, I still don't know where my sister is. I am left with a missing puzzle, a big question mark in my head about my sister, my 2 children, and my families. I am left with constant psychological trauma. My integrity and dignity have been taken away from me by the Eritrean soldiers. I am filled with rage, sadness, and anguishing pain.
Both the Eritrean and Amhara forces have violated my body. My body has become a sexual object, their sex toy. They did to me whatever they fantasized by force of their guns in my head. No one can stop them, nor hold them accountable. What did Tigray women do to deserve this kind of dehumanization and evil acts?
The Amhara militia abused me sexually and psychologically. He did to me whatever sexual fantasies he desired. I am a victim of Tigray genocide or rape.
I lost so much blood and my arm was severely wounded. As a result, my arm was amputated. The Eritrean soldiers have left a scar on me that I will never forget. But what did I do to deserve this psychological and physical trauma?
Not only that, because I have a root in Tigray, they assume that I am affiliated with TPLF. That is false. I am free of any political affiliations. My journalistic work is fair and objective. However, the Ethiopian government made a statement to blacklist me, saying I am not legally registered as a journalist in order to discredit my journalistic works. To this day, independent journalists have been blocked from Tigray since November 3rd, 2020, from reporting what is really happening there. They have been silenced.
My innocent daughter lost her limb for what cause? For simply trying to protect her dignity and honor from these Eritrean soldiers who are rapists? I seek justice for my daughter.
How could the Eritrean soldiers barge into our house and rape my wife in front of me? They knew we are civilians. We didn't carry any weapon to protect ourselves. And yet, they came with a full force as if they were going to shoot us down. Instead, they dishonored my wife's body. My wife and I are crying out for justice.
Oh, my beautiful sister, how could they abuse you like that? You just gave birth recently. Don't they have a sister, a mother, or a daughter? Their cruelty makes me sick. Oh God, make them pay for what they did to my sister.
Oh, my pure cousin, I am angry what the Amhara militia did to you. Be strong, my cousin, and stay assured. I will not stop advocating and speaking on your behalf until the Amhara militia pays the price for taking advantage of you.
They mocked and belittled me as they raped my wife. They made my wife a sex object in front of me. How could I protect my wife? Even if I try to fight them, I don't own a gun. I am a civilian. They have dishonored me and my wife. They have reduced my manhood. I shrunk. I am ashamed. Dear Lord, why didn't you have prepared me for this?
Oh, my sweet sister, you don't deserve this at all. My nephews don't deserve this at all. The Eritrean soldiers have made your body a sex tool. They will surely pay the price.
How could I forget? The Amhara soldiers raped my mother in front of me and my sisters. If we try to stop them, they will shoot us with their guns. What are we supposed to do then? Remain silent and suffer peacefully? The Amhara soldiers who raped my mother need to be held accountable now.
Professional journalists who stand for truth are systematically being harassed, intimidated, arrested, even some killed by the Ethiopian federal government in order to silence them and hide the Tigray's genocidal war and rape under the rug. The world needs to see all the human rights abuses and violations in Tigray. All perpetrators must be held accountable.
This is just a glimpse of the genocidal rape that is still being committed in Tigray by both the Eritrean and Ethiopian Amhara forces.
Rape is being used as a weapon by the Eritrean and Ethiopian Amhara forces. This is a method they are using to dehumanize and rip off Tigrayan women's identity.
Pride,
honor, and confidence.
The number of rape cases in Tigray are most likely higher than what's being reported, especially in the most remote and rural areas of Tigray. The cases are expected to be very high, but hard to know due to the ongoing telecommunication and internet blackout.
Furthermore, all the girls and women who have been sexually assaulted have no one to report to, since there are no Tigrayan police officers around.
In addition, there are no hospitals or clinics in their towns to get medical treatment. Even those hospitals and clinics in the nearby cities have been deliberately, systematically looted and destroyed by both the Eritrean and Ethiopian Amhara forces. It's likely they're facing many sexual transmitted diseases. Even worse, some are pregnant.
We call upon all the powerful women, leaders, activists, and artists around the globe, including VP Kamala Harris,
Michelle Obama,
Oprah Winfrey,
Beyonce Knowles Carter,
and Angelina Jolie.
We urge all of you to stand with the girls and women of Tigray who are facing constant rape and sexual violence by the Ethiopian, Amhara, and Eritrean forces.
All of you have advocated for girls and women's rights around the globe throughout your leadership, advocacy, art, and have influenced generations of girls and women, including us, that we can achieve greatness. We hope you will look into the crisis in Tigray, Ethiopia, and join us to say stop,
stop,
stop, stop, stop the rape on young girls and women in Tigray.